Biggest bullet I've ever dodged turned out to be a pedophile cop. So I often think about this situation I was in years ago and how actually lucky I was for trusting my gut. This can actually be proven as the news story can be found via Google. When I was 18, I started college and lived on campus. I didn't know it at the time. But I'm demi-ace, so I actually didn't have much interest in dating people. I just wanted to make new friends. I got along well with a new group of people who lived on the same floor in my dorm. But there was this one guy we'll call D for this story. D was strangely obsessed with me in a mild way. Like really wanted to date me despite the fact we didn't know each other at all except for the fact we were both in the criminal justice program. He was nice at first. Pretty chill, but I just got the weirdest vibes from him I couldn't explain. We went on one sort of hangout date where we watched a movie in his dorm. I told him I enjoyed his company but wasn't attracted to him. A few weeks later I ended up meeting the man who'd end up being my first husband and we started dating. D got very mad and says, "But I liked you first." I still laugh over that statement. He then started insulting my new boyfriend, calling him stuck up and arrogant, so I blocked D and never heard from him again. Fast forward 5-ish years later. I'm married with 2 kids and the news is on. I then hear Michigan State Trooper D arrested and charged for child PRN. My head whipped around so fast and I see, on the TV, the mugshot of D. It was the same guy, same big distinctly large nose. Same first and last name. It was him. No doubt. I almost dated this guy but something felt off about him and holy crap I was so right. I nearly dated a pedophile. I don't think I've ever dodged such a bullet before. Op. Do you look younger than you are? Just curious. You dodged a bullet. I once went on one date with a guy who seemed nice. But my gut said no. We fooled around a little. But it felt wrong. So I left. We graduated. He tracked me down through my parents' landline, etc. I didn't respond or call him back and told my parents to stop giving out my new number. A few years later I learned he'd lost his counseling license for trading drugs for blowjobs by his clients with drug problems. WTAF. I liked you first. That pedo subscribes to the dating as amusement ride theory. They wait in line so when the ride becomes available it's supposed to be their turn, but then someone else cuts in line and steals their place. You see it also when a woman says she's not ready for dating and then when she gets a boyfriend, the guy who was told she wasn't ready gets angry. It's entitled and objectifying. I left my hometown as a teen and moved back several years later. Still looking like a teen. The crossing guard, library security guard, and the old man at the corner store where I used to buy candy all asked me out. The guy at the photo shop who did class photos every year didn't. But made creepy sexual comments. Like fuck. I nearly dated a pedophile. You also nearly dated a cop. I liked you first. I don't like you at all. As a demi-ace man that didn't realize it until recently. I always thought there was something wrong with me when I wasn't immediately ready to do that sort of thing. Seeing the "but I liked you first" shit reminds me of partners that things just didn't click with. Going, "But why wouldn't you do X with me?" Well, it just didn't feel right and I needed that connection to enjoy it. I hate to say it. I've heard about multiple pedo cops. In addition to the stats on DV. My childhood best friend was assaulted by his police officer stepfather. And it wasn't revealed until years later. It's disgusting that monsters like this feel they can get away with horrible things because their job enables them to be exposed to the most vulnerable members of our communities. My mom had 2 children with a pedophile. Thank you for following your gut. Oh, that's scary. Makes me wonder if anyone I've ever known is hiding some horrid secret like this. I'd like to think my instincts would be on point spotting something though. I do watch a lot of crime docs XD. So, can anyone share more stories about guys being super into you but your gut just never felt right about them? And finding out something really was off about them? BC, I legit worry that I lost a good one, but my gut just always felt weird and unsettled around him. Like I couldn't be myself. I almost dated a guy who turned out to have been previously convicted of CSA. I didn't get an overtly bad vibe from him, but more of that super subtle thrill that tells you you're in danger but you can't recognize that it's danger yet. Only that you're pumping adrenaline and firing on all cylinders and you mistake it for love at first sight because the adrenaline addles your brain. The shock of finding out made me so unbelievably ill. From Michigan too. We had a resource officer at our school who had a relationship with this girl in my yearbook class. During my junior year, he would legit come and pull her out of class sometimes. Then he was assigned at a women's unit in a correctional facility where he was fired for sexual misconduct with the female inmates. They finally put him in jail when he assaulted a 13-year-old girl. But this guy got way too many chances. Edit just went back and Googled and found out he was charged, but he managed to dodge jail time. Good for you. Trusting you instincts. I've gotten better at it as I've gotten older. But I can't say that I've had such a validating experience as this. Good on you, thumbs up. I imagine him going new I called dibs, so happy you listened to your gut. Girl, I would congratulate myself every single day. Trust your instincts, they're clearly good. Just a casual reminder for the people in the comments that tell their own scary and shitty stories. Never forget that no is a complete sentence and I don't want to is reason enough. Trust your gut feelings and never let yourselves be guilted into doing things you don't want to. A friend of mine looked young. She was early 20s and looked 12. Had a boyfriend we all thought was creepy. One day she found he had downloaded child porn onto her computer, so she brought it to the police. They ended up arresting her because it was her computer. She had to get a lawyer, etc., etc. It worked out in the end, but good lord. Men are trash. My gut saved me from a pedo on a bus on my way to school once. Always listen to your gut. I bet you he is a God-fearing, church-going Republican. Whoa. I googled it. Looks like he was actually convicted in 2019 and is on a sex offender registry even. Always trust your gut. Laughs in 40 self-reported spousal abuse by a cop. No, but really. ACAB, and I'm glad you are safe, okay. Fuck that pig. A chomo pig in jail person gets you unalived. I was reading this thinking this sounded like someone I knew. Then I saw Michigan and that he was a trooper. That guy, the first thing made everyone uncomfortable. Small world though, seeing a post about him now though. Reminds of the time I read in the paper that a guy the first worked with for years was arrested for possession of CP. I never really liked the guy because he was lazy at work and always had to be the class clown. I never suspected that though.